the science of early retirement, the evidence-based investing, the science this, the science that, the science of financial planning with spreadsheets and models will prove to you my way is better than that guy's way. I tell you, man. So my man Warren sends me a blog post from a few years back that's basically debunking the strategy of using a taxable account as opposed to an IRA. This guy who wrote the article, which I'm not going to name, I'm not going to link to, I find this so, it just drives me crazy. The idea was using an IRA as opposed to a brokerage account would give you 15 more years of retirement funds. And I just, the absurdity of this, it just infuriates me because it's just so, and yet people fall for this because they're dying to have this evidence, this science that says, if you do this, this will be the outcome. And folks, I hate to say it, but it ain't work like that. It doesn't, there's no such thing as evidence or science when it comes to retirement planning. It's all up in here, this freaking lump of coal that Norm Macdonald calls that we have as a brain. It's all up in here. There's no evidence. There's no science between retirement planning. I'm going to share with an email to validate exactly what I just said. Hold on a second. To delete the email. Anyway, I wanted to keep it for posterity because a guy had emailed me in April of last year. And he said, Josh, I'm nervous about this market. He was a younger guy, probably my age, 51. He said, I'm nervous about this market. I think I need to get out. It wasn't a client of mine. I sit there and said, why are you investing to begin with? He goes, well, to make money. I said, well, why are you getting out? Because the money is down. I said, so have you made any money? No. All right, so you're going to get out now when your money's down? And I don't know if he said he didn't make any money, but he was taking on the chin. He goes, I'm losing money is what he said. So you get out after you've already lost the money? He goes, yeah, well, because I don't want to lose more. I said, look, you got to do what you got to do. But if you're not expecting any kind of significant declines over the course of your investing history, why are you even bothering? And anyway, I think he said he'd stay the course, and thankfully he did. Now, could I have been wrong? Sure. We could all go to Japan. We could all go to zero. But why are you investing to begin with? The point is that when you're using a spreadsheet analysis and you're using just simplistic linear rates of return to prove a point, is absurd on all fronts, man. Because it never works like that, because there's these things called life and emotions that come in. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, look, I didn't bother reading this whole guy's spreadsheet. I read the whole article, but it's like, I'm not going to email him for the spreadsheet and to analyze his work because it just bores me, frankly. At the end of the day, think about you. You're 70 years old, all right? You got $1 million in an IRA. Just think about this for a second. You need $50,000 a year to live on. The market, and just think about this for a second. And you're like, yeah, that's good. The market falls 25%. Now you're down to $750,000. You still need $50,000 to live on. You know what else you got to account for? You got to account for those taxes on the $50,000. And see, this is what drives me crazy, where people who aren't actively practitioners, but just researchers, essentially, they don't understand the emotions that come with this stuff. And I'm telling you, man, there is this handcuff called IRA deferred assets that says once you are a certain income needs and you have to have this income, adding taxes to a declining market value is freaking salt in the wound. You know how I know? Because I've seen it with my own two eyes with clients. I've seen it with this lady up in New Jersey. God rest her. I don't know if she's still around, but I'll never forget her. Never. $750,000 in an IRA, and she needed a certain amount of money for her condo association fees or property taxes because she lived in New Jersey. And this is in 2015, I think, when the markets are getting knocked around. Not even that bad. Market's down 15%. She needed the money. Well, she's going to get it from. She needed the cash. She had to sell her portfolio. She needed about $70,000. Now, she was in her, I think, late 70s. Fit as a fiddle, by the way. I'll never forget when I met her. I was like, damn, she was, I thought she was going to be some crusty old grandma. She's fit as a fiddle. Fantastic lady. But anyway, and I'm sitting there thinking, we have to pull this money out because you don't have enough other income. But she has to pay New Jersey income tax, and she had to pay social tax on that 75,000 she had to pull out because the market fell from 1 million to 750 or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly, but I remember now we're pulling 10% a year, and on top of that 10% a year, we got to pay tax on. She can't go back to work in some crappy old job as a 78-year-old single lady in a condo in New Jersey. Not that easy to offload your condo either, by the way, because that's a drawback about condos. They all look the same. So what that guy upstairs is from yours, the only thing different is he lives upstairs. Now he might have, granite and you got Corian or whatever it's called, but other than that, it's all the same. Condo fees don't go away, property taxes don't go away, income taxes don't go away. You need the money to pay for that stuff, man. And the money comes from one source only, is your IRA. You wake up one day, your IRA is down 20%. So now what used to be a 5% distribution is now a 7.5% distribution because you got factor taxes in there. And that was just in 2015. And I just remember it was May and June. It wasn't that bad of a deal. You fast forward to freaking 2020, February, March, and all you got is a freaking portfolio is down 35%. Well, still you got to pay tax on the remainder nonetheless. And you're going to tell me there's a science that says it's okay because my spreadsheet, my models work? It's freaking crazy talk, man. This is the whole point why people spend less as they age. And this is what just infuriated. Hold on a sec. This is what just infuriated me about when Ty Bernicki wrote his article in the JFP, Journal for Financial Planning, in 2004, if memory serves. The Reality Retirement Plan. And freaking Jonathan Clements challenged him. It was actually more than challenged him. He was rude to him. He said, well, maybe because people are spending less, Ty. I know that's your research, but maybe it's because they're running out of money. And Jonathan Clements was the staff, the main guy at the Wall Street Journal with a bunch of mad, financial planner extraordinaires who never met with a financial client ever, but they do the research and they do this modeling and they do the PhDs in financial planning, but they never met with a client. And so Jonathan Clements' first retort was, yeah, the reason they're spending less to run out of money. No evidence of that. It's just speculation, of course, because it came from Jonathan Clements. Everyone said, yeah, you're right, Jonathan. Turns out that was freaking wrong. The reason people spend less is because they're in protect mode. Protect mode. They say, look, I can get by without the things I needed when I had money coming in. If there's anything I want you to learn, my friends, is that when you have a fixed income, oh boy, it's a whole lot different in your spending patterns and habits than when you have an income coming in that's variable, i.e. because you have a job. When the income comes in because of your employment and you expect to make more and you expect it never to go away because you got a job, and by the way, you're not even seeing the taxes. Taxes are already withheld. You don't even see them, man. You don't see the FICA. You don't see the payroll tax or your income tax. Hell, most of us don't even see the freaking property tax because it's part of the escrow. And so what happens is you're just living on your net money without even knowing what else is going out the door because you're like, yeah, I was just listening to Dave Ramsey today. Guy says we're netting $4,500. Dave's like, what are you grossing? He goes, I don't know. Exactly right, you don't know because you have no idea what you're grossing. Why? Because all you care about is the bottom line, what you're spending. When it comes to retirement, though, you guarantee you're going to know what you're netting and grossing. You know why? Because you're the ones got to pay the taxes. You see it on your 1040. You don't even see it on your 1040 when it comes into your financial, when your working career. It doesn't flow to your 1040. It does. The only thing you care about is your 1040 is how much is due or how much a refund. You don't pay attention to the freaking taxes paid. You just pay attention to taxes due or taxes refund. That's it. You got to get through your head. There's no science. There's no evidence based. It's all emotional. And the emotional win of not having a mortgage, the emotional win of not having debt, the emotional win of getting the taxes minimized in retirement allows you the ability to afford to be more frugal if the time gets, because you don't have to have this burden of taxes on you. You can spreadsheet this all day long. I don't care. The emotional problem of losing 25% of your portfolio and still having to pay tax is freaking devastating. Don't minimize that. Yes, it's emotionally traumatic when you lose 25% and you still got to put money on. I grant you that. It's a hell of a lot more emotionally traumatic when you still got to pay another $10,000 to this Chris Christie, and on top of that, Barack Obama, which is the case with this lady up in New Jersey. And on top of that, her property tax, her condo fees. That, man, don't listen to these freaking guys saying, oh, okay, I shouldn't say that. Listen to these guys. If they're not talking about the emotional baggage that comes in this stuff, and they're just saying, look, from a spreadsheet, this says that, you're like, dude, okay, how many people know what their total taxes pay? A vast majority don't, because it's automatically done for them. When you hit retirement, you're going to know what your total taxes pay. And when you pay off your mortgage, you'll know what your property taxes are, because you have to do your own escrow. You have to stroke the checks. When that income stops from work and it's just based on your portfolio and it's fixed, man, everything changes. Do not use the accumulation strategies for a decumulation mindset. It's just dumb. Don't do that. All right, we'll see you guys.